Donald Trump, we know, went into this meeting threatening all sorts of sanctions against Russia if Putin didn't agree to a ceasefire. He's come out with quite a different position. What happened?
Well, David, what happened is that Vladimir Putin outfoxed Donald Trump. Vladimir Putin played Donald Trump like a Stradivarius violin. Donald Trump came here wanting the deal. And we know that Donald Trump, it's not always what the deal is. He likes to make a deal of some sort. Usually he walks out of a meeting with something. This time he walked out with nothing. He came here wanting, firstly, a ceasefire, an immediate ceasefire. His second preferred option was a conditional ceasefire, and his third option was the guarantee from Vladimir Putin that he would meet the Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelenskyy in the next few days or weeks. He wanted something to announce. That's why he spoke only for 3.5 minutes at the news conference afterwards. He took no questions. This was an emphatic defeat for Donald Trump. And Donald Trump himself said a few days ago that Vladimir Putin has fooled president after president. And every president comes to office here thinking they can tame the Russian bear. They can tame Vladimir Putin and bring Russia back into the international community. Donald Trump thought the same thing. He came here to Alaska thinking that his powers of persuasion could break through that, and he left a man who was completely defeated, and you could tell that in his demeanour. Donald Trump loves to take questions from the media, loves to engage at big press conferences. He was on the biggest stage of his life yesterday, and he walked off after 3.5 minutes.
And what's more, John, he's now saying there needs to be a peace deal rather than a ceasefire. And we know for Vladimir Putin, a peace deal is what he wants, and that means Ukraine handing over some of its territory. This is of great concern to the European leaders and, of course, to the Ukrainian president. They're now going to be rushing to the White House for a meeting in the next couple of days. What can we expect to happen there?
Well, that's right. Vladimir Putin came here wanting the war to continue, and the war is continuing. Now, what's going to happen in Washington this Monday is the European leaders and the Ukrainians are going to try to win back Donald Trump. At the moment, the real struggle, we know Russia's position. The real battle at the moment is between the Europeans, with Ukraine as well, versus Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has a pattern, if you look at his public behaviour, of going with the whatever the last person he's spoken to of influence says to him. Now, he echoed Vladimir Putin's exact point of view that until we have a peace deal, we keep fighting. The Europeans are saying, let's stop the killing and then work out the framework of a ceasefire. Now, the Europeans are going to say to Donald Trump, you cannot walk away from this. The danger is the Americans, Donald Trump will walk away from this. And what that means is the funding for NATO and Ukraine will be hit. So the Europeans are making an 11th hour bid to convince Donald Trump to win over Vladimir Putin and to force Vladimir Putin to a negotiating table. Putin does not want to sit down with Volodymyr Zelenskyy. He doesn't think he's an equal. He doesn't think that his country, Ukraine, is a legitimate country. He does not want to give the status to Volodymyr Zelenskyy of sitting down at a meeting with him. The Europeans want that meeting to happen.
John, it is a fascinating moment. Really appreciate your analysis there from Anchorage. Thanks so much.
Thanks, David.